What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another installment of the Chelsea Hour. The first official Chelsea Hour, I would say official, since we've come back from our trip in the UK. Hopefully you guys have all been doing well. Hopefully you guys are doing great today. Hey, if you haven't done so already, be sure, you guys already know how this goes. If you're a regular here, you know how this goes. But if you're new here, or if you don't do YouTube often, be sure to smash up the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, especially, because there's plenty of content here. We're going to be busting out a lot of content in the next few weeks up until international break pretty much. So stick around. Plenty of genuine opinions on here. Plenty of contrasting opinions at all as well. And yeah, plenty of good stuff to watch on the channel. So especially if you like long form content, this is the place for you. So be sure to subscribe. Be sure to hit that bell notification. Be sure to also hype up the video if you're watching in the future. And ahead of time, apologies because I currently have a cough drop in my mouth because the hotel I stayed at, literally the same hotel that you guys saw I was streaming from on the last Chelsea Hour. The AC was cranking. I tend to snore at night because I have sinus issues. And lo and behold, sinuses got pretty dried up and irritated them to the point where I got an infection. I was fighting for my life on the airplane. And lo and behold, I'm fighting a sinus infection and my throat is fucking killing me. Just before anyone even says it.
Hey, yo!
So whatever, bro. Or I should.
I'm coming on your ass, boy.
More
I'm
of
coming
that
for
one.
that ass. What? Pause.
Yeah, pause. Anyways, so yeah, this one is a bit of a doozy, in my opinion, at least, because it was made evidently clear that it seems people have a certain, not even, you know what, and just to point this out, it's not even just from the people I know in person. It's actually coming from my community as well. It seems that I have been labeled as a clearly strongest soldier, which is weird to me, but it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, I don't really care. I think it's funny. But kind of just want to put like like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a pin, but like a final like chapter send off on this. So if you're not a fan of the repetitive Maresca this and that, BlueCo this and that, understandably so. If you don't want to be here for this stream, I will not blame you whatsoever. Now, chat, I will apologize right now. I am going to be not looking at chat just for the, you know, purpose of being able to get through everything I need to say. I'll tune in halfway through the show and then we'll catch up with chat and then we'll pick up where I left off, right? So this is usually how it works. So chat, say whatever you want to say. I'll address it. in about 30 minutes or so after I finish speaking, and then we'll pick it up from there. But yeah, for today, what essentially the point of this is, I want to kind of put out there what my stance is with Chelsea at the moment. And as you can see, I am a bit of a Chelsea shill, right? I am wearing clothing that I purchased at the Mega Store. And I did make a Mega Store purchase, which in some people's eyes, no matter what happens, is going to label me as a hypocrite. And I don't disagree with them. It is hypocritical of me after having told them, hey, go ahead and protest, show your disdain for the club. And if I were there, I would have protested myself. However, I justify it to myself by saying this is my first time at Stamford Bridge. I don't know when the next time I'm going to be here is. And when in Rome, it is what it is. But then I also justified it to myself by saying this season will be my last season supporting this with my own money. Okay? Unless things change, unless I am proven wrong about the direction of the club, so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, no one really cares. And is it going to put a big dent in Igbali's pocket? Probably not. But it's just about morals at this point. It's just about expressing how I actually feel and my disdain for some of the things that's been happening in the last 4 years at Chelsea. This is the 4th year. And it's just been a lot of changes, a lot of I don't want to say deception, but there's no better word that I can think of right now. So for lack of a term, deception going on. And some might say it was there from the get-go and I was naive. Fair. I would say that I was more open-minded than those people. So we're going to talk about BlueCo. We're going to talk about Rosenior. And we're going to talk about what I think is going to happen to the club going forward. So just to give context, this is all from a timeline of the last 2 seasons. Well, last season and this season, right? And so if you guys remember, if you've been here for a while, you understand that I was staunchly against Pochettino. I was willing to give him a fair shot at the job. And the turning point for me was the loss to Manchester United, the first leg, right? That for me made me Pochettino out. I never liked him to begin with, but I was willing to give the guy time because I know it takes time for the managers to get their systems in place and adapt and all that. Now, when he inevitably did walk away or get sacked or whatever you want to believe in, I was willing to, again, because they said this is a 3-year project. This is an upward trajectory going from destroying everything and starting fresh and getting us as low as 12th to working our way up to 6th. We technically did get it into a Europa spot, but unfortunately, because of the FA Cup, we didn't get that. And to be fair, if Poch were a better manager, then we potentially get into the 5th, 4th spot because we weren't that many points off. And we drop points in ridiculous games and we make it regardless of that result. But I digress, right? So there was an upward trajectory that I saw. And I'm the type of person that when I see new information, my opinion does change. And I think that's usually how everyone should be. That's how science works. That's how life works. You're not always going to stand 10 toes down on one stance, even if you're incredibly wrong. At that point, you're just stubborn. And when it comes to, stats, facts, information, and all that kind of stuff, especially something I'm passionate about like Chelsea, with new information, I'm willing to be open-minded on these things, right? We're heading into a new era of football where stats are everything. All these monopolies, well, not really monopolies, but all these entrepreneurs, billionaires are buying the sport out. It's becoming more capitalistic. And this isn't really the platform where I want to talk about these things. And even if I did want to talk about them, I'd be repeating myself because we've done this in previous shows. So essentially, I was very open-minded to seeing what they could do, right? I didn't think that we necessarily had horrible windows. I thought there was some good players in there. And I think even that Pochettino season showed a lot of people like, oh, okay, they're capable of getting you world-class players. And as a result of the Cole Palmer signing and Nicholas Jackson having 15 goals and assists without penalties, right? Or no, not even 15 goals and assists. I'm sorry. 15 goals, non-penalty goals in a season. You can see, okay, they have an eye for talent. They seem to be recruiting these players. We have an issue with the stadium and the finances and all this and that, right? So I said, okay, there's good ideas here that we can work on, that we can set a foundation and we can do something. However, if it wasn't going to be Pochettino, it has to be this manager. So in comes Maresca, right? We knew the issues we had at Pochettino. Maresca's a new face. It wasn't the name I wanted, right? I wanted, at the time, Ruben Amorim. He was highly touted. This is before he came to United, right? I wanted Ruben Amorim. A lot of people wanted Ruben Amorim because he had won something, right? I was willing to bring in Arne Slot had he not gone to Liverpool. I was willing to even, I wanted Enrique ideally, right? But Enrique had already rejected us the season prior. So there weren't really good managers out there. I would have brought in Tuchel again, really. Like that's I am just like a lot of fans, and I'm willing to go for the big names and the big managers, right? 100%. Those are my first choices. But considering the circumstances, how the club is run, and what they were saying they wanted, we had what we had to pick. In comes Enzo Maresca. Now, again, just like Pochettino, even though I didn't like Pochettino to begin with, right? I didn't like him as a result of how Spurs fans needed to glorify him and say, oh, Jose Mourinho, who is a much better manager than him, his football is so dross. I'd rather the champagne football of Mauricio. Brother, you guys haven't won shit. And Mourinho at least got you to a final and got sacked before that. If Mourinho didn't get sacked, there's a strong argument that he could have gotten them their first trophy in a long time before Ange Postecoglou did, right? And I've spoken to Spurs fans, and they agree. But the majority of Spurs fans, at least the loudest ones online, were dissing Mourinho because of champagne Pochettino football. Yes, champagne football. Fuck off, bro.
Mauricio, I can't.
So yeah, I already had a dislike of Mauricio Pochettino since then, right? But that aside, again, neutral in this whole entire thing, and the same thing I am with Liam, willing to give it a shot. Now, was the preseason convincing? No, but the preseason was convincing under Poch, and look what the fuck happened. So preseason for me, after that preseason, I discarded it. Didn't care for it. Once the season starts, I want to see the results. And we were getting results at the beginning. And you can make the argument it was Poch ball and all that shit, right? But that's when things started to change, right? That's when I was like, okay, I'm seeing something here. We're looking pretty decent. People were saying, oh, we're in a title charge and all this and that. And I was holding my breath saying, wait until December, then I'll discuss whether or not we're in a title charge. And lo and behold, December comes, we capitulate. We end up bringing that form all the way to January, little bits of February. February was probably the worst of it between the back-to-back loss to Brighton and the FA Cup getting us knocked out. November wasn't great too. We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. And yeah, those 3 months were not good months for Chelsea. I will wholeheartedly admit it. We were horrible, right? Not only that, there were a few injuries. We didn't have a striker. Jackson fell down injured. He was also going into poor form anyways, so it's not like we were shooting on all cylinders. Palmer didn't look nearly as good as he did under Poch because he was playing more of a 10 role. You can make the argument that he was also being targeted more. But certain players did begin to step up, and we did begin to see certain players be more consistent. And actually have their minutes managed, and we weren't nearly as injury ravaged as we were the season prior. There was a point in the season prior that if you looked at our bench, our best player was Cassidy. Yeah, it wasn't good. So it just, I think what made me just stick around was just the blind faith of Chelsea, right? I knew how good the players were. I knew the quality of players that we had. Like, I knew Pedro Neto at the time wasn't a shit player. I knew that Enzo Fernandez also wasn't a shit player. Like, this guy won the World Cup. We seem to forget that. Now it's a different discussion, but people wanted to forget, oh yeah, Enzo Fernandez, like, he won the World Cup. That's you can't just turn an eye to that, right? Caicedo looked really good, honestly. I think, yeah, he did win our player of the season last season. Yeah. And that was under Maresca, right? So there was like improvements there, and I knew that there was going to take time to adapt and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, what I liked about, or what gave me more faith last season was that although we weren't winning big games, we also weren't losing by much. We also weren't clowned on, really, outside of the Brighton game. And yeah, no, it was really the Brighton game, because we didn't lose against Arsenal in the first leg, did we? I don't remember. It's all like a blur to me. But all in all, what I'm trying to get at is that there was good players there, and we had great form in the beginning of the season. So I'm sure there's a way we can turn that around and get back to that form. And we did. We did. Towards the end of the season, we solidified a lot more defensively. Although we didn't have any like good attackers available, even Palmer was in bad form, we still managed to win some games 1-0, 2-1s. Like, there were close games, but we were winning. And when you're winning, no one really gives a shit about the football. And it's true. And we were winning, and then we end up getting where we get to, which is top 4, when everyone doubted us. And I didn't have doubt, because at the end of the day, the way I saw it was that at any point we could step up. At any point, this team can decide to pick it up. And to be fair, we also saw it under Poch. We were so shit for most of the season, but for whatever reason, at the end of the season, the team decided to just, oh yeah, we're supposed to be good. And they decided to play. So it's like, you look at trends and you can hypothesize based on those trends, right? That's something they teach you in school. The what's the how to form a hypothesis, right? And so based on the evidence that we had, it seemed to me that there was more likely that we would have a turnaround than not. And we weren't so bad that it looked like we were going to just lose every game for the rest of the season. I know we were losing games, but we weren't losing them by much. And if you look at the stats, we were losing them from winning positions. Very much like how it kind of happened just recently before Maresca got the sack. And then lo and behold, obviously Conference League, we win it. We were supposed to win that anyways, but we were losing that game. And then we come back and we completely dominate it, as we should have. So there's that. And not only that, then you go on to win the Club World Cup, which, as much as people want to put it down and all that stuff, before the Club World Cup happened, the same people that put it down and said, oh yeah, you won the Trump Invitational, those same people were saying there's no way we go any far in this tournament. Even especially considering the window and the links that we had, no one thought that we would get far in the tournament whatsoever. People doubted João Pedro. People doubted Liam Delap, rightfully so now. But people doubted the players. People doubted the team we had, and people doubted that we could make it far. Lo and behold, it turns out we're a cup team like Chelsea always are. And we end up winning that. And convincingly. That's the key word there. We lost to Flamengo in that tournament. No doubt about it. In that day, Jackson completely obliterated any chance we had of coming back in that game, right? And on that day, Flamengo just beat us up. They just beat us up. But for the rest of the tournament, especially those that were watching it and following it, there was a storyline there. There was a storyline there. There was chemistry building there. You could see Chelsea fans starting to believe a little more and starting to see the different formations, the 4-2-2-2, the 3-4-3, the 3-5-2. We were experimenting more. We looked like we were comfortable. And then we go on to beat PSG the way we did. You can go back to the comps. I still see them to this day. Everyone doubted us. I even doubted us. It wasn't until the day of where I had chest and I was like, you know what? We could do this. We could do this. Right? Because it was, to be fair, it was RSM's rallying of the troops speech that really got me going. I was like, you know what? RSM is right, man. We've come from worse situations. We've played better teams with worse teams and come out of this. Remember, guys, against Bayern Munich back in 2011, I don't think people had us as favorites in that one. And you even look at the game, bruh. We didn't play well. We gave them so many chances to score, but at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. At the end of the day, no one remembers really the game. They remember the result, and we got the result. Petr Cech saved us. Drogba with the last minute header. That's Chelsea. Then you look at the 2021 UCL under Tuchel. That season, none of us thought we were going to win the UCL. None of us thought. Once we beat Real Madrid, especially in that first leg, we all started to believe. Not even that. I think some of us started to believe once we beat Porto. And yeah, the rest is written. That was prime Man City. We went up against prime Man City. And holy shit, we won by 1 goal. But don't pretend while watching that game, I was convinced we were going to win that. We were conceding chances. My fucking heart was in my asshole that game. Remember Azpilicueta diving freaking save or diving block. Rudiger diving block. Mendy making phenomenal saves that game. And Christensen. Thiago Silva goes down in that game 30 minutes in. So my point being is that like Chelsea have always been this team that when we doubt them, they seem to fucking step up. And I gave myself more belief that we would do it. And so we did it. And honestly, of all the finals we've played, that was probably the most convincing one I've ever seen. And we move on to the season and we see the victory against Barcelona, the victory against Liverpool, the victory, again, Freudian slip. It feels like a victory because we were 10 men down. But the fact that Arsenal couldn't beat us with 10 men. There was plenty of games where tactically Maresca was just a fucking genius. But the results were not congruent with the big wins. And I'll admit that. When we were shit, we were shit. We weren't like horrible, right? And we weren't like absolutely dross, but the results weren't there. And at the end of the day, all that matters is the results. And Maresca, whether it be because of the window he had, which now in hindsight, now that we see what Garnacho looks like in this team, now that we've seen what Gittins looks like in this team, you can start to tell that this was not a well-built team. And these directors genuinely don't know what the fuck they're doing. At least it feels that way. It feels like they're stumbling upon solutions. It feels like they're relying on nepotism, right? Joe Shields and every single Man City link known to man, right? James McAtee, don't forget that name. That's going to eventually pop up at some point. Trafford, remember we were linked to him? All these Man City clients. And as so, the results showed, and Maresca struggled. Whether it be because of the tactics, whether it be because of the choices he made, or the choices that maybe the board made, it wasn't good enough. And lo and behold, rightfully so, at the end of the day, guys, I don't think that at the end of the summer, in the direction that we were heading in, I don't think that at the end of the summer, Maresca was going to stay at the job. He was either going to get sacked or he was going to walk away, right? But there was things there, like Maresca, like that first season, you could have doubted Maresca. And a lot of people did. A lot of people did. A lot of people didn't even want to give him a chance. And I'm seeing it again with Rosenior, to be fair. A lot of people didn't want to even give him a chance. A lot of people had their just set narratives that this was not going to work out. And they were digging their heels and not willing to move on it, right? I respect those, like me, that with new information have different opinions and can change your mind, right? Because people will call it flip-flopping. I just call it, when I'm presented with new information, I'm going to have new conclusions. I was willing to see how the season ended. The season ended with 2 trophies and a top 4 finish. We only need a top 5. We got top 4 finish. Some of you will say we barely did it. I'm going to say we convincingly did it towards the end. And at the end of the day, I don't care how you did it. The fact is that you did it. Had Pochettino gotten top 4, I would have said, well, it was a shitty season, but you got top 4. I'll give you another season. And that's all I asked for. So now I have a manager here that's giving me something, giving me a reason to back him. Okay, you won me 2 trophies. You got me top 4. These are the new goals for the season. Let's see if you can achieve them. And I'll give you the season. I was going to give Maresca the season before I came to the conclusion again of whether or not he should stay at the job or move on. I'm a fair fan like that. I'm not stupid. I'm not agenda driven. Well, to an extent. And I'm not just going to jump to conclusions based on emotional reactionary results, right? Barring the few results that have happened this season. And obviously the ownership decisions that have happened this season. And of course, when Maresca did prove the haters wrong, I was there with the 6-7 hour long stream with all the receipts of all the people, the big accounts, the big heads, Twitter accounts, all these stupid fucking idiots that doubted him and were proven wrong and had mud on their face. Simple as, right? Even some people in my panel. Simple as. Why? Because you reacted in an emotional state and you made a conclusion, and now you made your conclusion, you want to dig your heels in, and you're not willing to change your opinion based on new information. Simple as. I'm not that way. This season, now that he's giving you something or showing you that he could do something against big teams, which we've really not seen under previous managers, barring maybe Pochettino against United, if you want to consider United a big team, or the draws against City, if you want to consider that a big result. Remember, Pochettino also lost to Arsenal 5-0, so on and so forth, right? Regardless, there was something there to at least give me hope that there could be something with this team. And players had improved. Whether you think they improved or not, that's your opinion. I'll let you guys in chat fight that out. All right, I'm not going to get into this again. But now the reality is that BlueCo has kind of showed its ugly face. This whole time, I was willing to believe the idea that BlueCo were trying to build a long-lasting partnership and project with a coach or a manager. And the moment Maresca got sacked, or I keep saying that because that's the easy thing to say. The moment Maresca walked away, it told me everything I needed to know. It told me everything I needed to know about what was happening under the disgusting curtains of Graham Potter. It told me everything that was happening behind the scenes under Pochettino. And it told me everything that was happening behind the scenes with Maresca. And do you think anything is going to change under Liam Rosenior? No, because the moment Liam Rosenior identifies an issue and calls for support on it, this is going to continue to happen again. How Liam reacts to it and how Liam deals with it, that's where we will see if he can stay and if he can go. And one of the things I said, and I'll even criticize Maresca for this, one of the things that I did say for Pochettino because people wanted to praise Pochettino for, oh, you stood up to the owners. You're not a yes man. Yeah, whatever. You showed them. Cool. What good does that do for me? Now I don't have a manager. Now these players that need sustainability and longevity, they have to learn under another manager, another coach. At least with Liam, the good thing is that the system's not that different. He's a similar coach and he speaks English, so he can pretty much communicate with everyone on that pitch, right? Because everyone's learning English in that team. But we're talking from Maresca to Poch, completely different system, completely new team, completely different way of playing. It does, especially when you have a young team, it doesn't give you sustainability. And Chelsea fans have been dying for sustainability for a long time. So season 3 happens, we get the trophies, and I'm thinking, cool, you guys are doing what you said. You got us back into UCL. You got us winning trophies. You got us earning money. Now get me a front of shirt sponsor. Now get me better players with these signings. And again, you guys know how I am with these players, because had I had the same opinion of Garnacho about, let's say, for example, Palmer or Esteval, I would have mud on my face, right? Oh, these youngsters, what are they doing here? Why do we need youngsters? We need experience. But to give credit where credit is due, sometimes their scouting does work, and we do get world-class talent. There's no denying Esteval is a world-class talent. Whether he goes on to be a world-class player is a different discussion. Same thing with Palmer, world-class talent. Whether he goes on to be a world-class player, which I did jump the gun last season and said he was. Now I got to slow my roll. But whether he does it, time will tell, right? So with all that being said, BlueCo really revealed its ugly face when Maresca walked away. And I think what it revealed was a lot. A lot. I think it confirmed the suspicions from the fan base that A, they're in this for the money. 2, a lot of the shit that we hear is a bunch of PR. 3, they have more control of the team than we suspected. And that to me is a recipe for disaster, because I don't want my sporting directors building a team and telling my coach how to use the players and how to play them and what formations to use and how to go about tactically going up against certain teams. If that's what you want, then you be the manager and he can be the coach in the background, coaching the players and training them so that they're ready for you to use in any game day. But instead, what they're doing is making Maresca the fall man so that they can take all the glory when the glory is there. That's what happened, right? Maresca didn't get a contract extension. Maresca didn't get a raise. The sporting directors did. The sporting directors are the ones that were flaunting their project and speaking so highly and doing interviews and all this and that. But when it goes and gets tough, they're nowhere to be seen. Maresca's the one at the press conferences taking the brunt of it. Pochettino was the one in the press conference taking the brunt of it. Graham Potter was the one taking the absolute abuse, right? This guy was crippling, falling apart on that press conference stand. Which, by the way, people, you know what? I didn't upload it. I'll upload it in a minute while I'm talking. So when that happened, that's immediately where I was like, okay, fuck this project then. Because you've now proven to me this has all been a sham. It's all been a lie. Say what you want. Oh, we told you all this and that. With what evidence? You didn't have the evidence. That's when people say, oh, this and this, that and that were right. Okay, how did they know then? Can you tell me what evidence did they have to prove that what they were going to say was going to be correct? You could predict, that's fine. But whether you're right or not about something that you predicted, 3 years ago? with no basis whatsoever, that's just not how I roll, people. That's not how I roll, and it's not how you should roll either. Because if you're wrong, which could happen because you're basing it off of no evidence, then you look like a clown. And sorry, I'm not trying to be a clown. I prefer to not be a clown. I prefer to just be me. What is this? What are we doing here? This thing is being dumb. Anyways, so as for that, it just made me completely numb to Chelsea, especially after that Arsenal game, right? I didn't care because at that point, again, I've said it over and over again, we want stability at the club. I think most Chelsea fans will tell you they'll be more than happy to have stability at the club. Get a proper manager that can hold their own and that can hold their own, that'll actually get results, get us playing a style of football that we can tolerate, or at least get the results despite the football. And then we'll go from there. And that's, people, where I queued up for the job. Yes. I told Igbali, that fucking fraud, to his face, listen, Igbali Pavlavi, all right, I will take this team to glory. And then I got denied immediately. So that's unfortunately what happened. So yeah, I mean, I should take my own advice to an extent, right? And maybe not be so confrontational, because we need sustainability. And if you're confrontational, like Bali, the dictator, will shut you the fuck up and sack you. That's how it works here, unfortunately. It's either the director's way, Bali's way, or the highway. And that is no way to run a fucking club. And like I said, its ugly face showed when Maresca walked away. And kudos to Maresca for walking away, because if any of you have had a job or a career where you're constantly being micromanaged, you understand how horrible it is and how dreadful it is and how intolerable it could be. And I don't wish that on anyone. It's no way to work. It's no way to, like, if you hired me, then let me do my job. If you wanted to do my job, then why the fuck did you hire me? So, as of that point, people, I was BlueCo out. Why? Again, I said it, plain and simple. Right? 3 seasons. That's what you said? Okay, let's see your plan. I'm going to give you 3 seasons. What happens in 3 seasons? We get back to top 4. We win 2 trophies. We become champions of the world. Great. We signed some pretty good players along the way. Caicedo, Enzo. I was about to say Lavia, but he's not been fit, so I'm not going to say Lavia. Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer, Esteval. I'll consider Santos there. Sanchez has really turned it around. Malo Gusto has been proven to be really, really useful in this team. Levi Cole staying has been great. Keeping Chalobah, whether or not... no, I'm not even going to throw Chalobah in there. But we've had some good players. Even now, like, you could even say, like, João Pedro to an extent has been pretty good. Even some of the business we've made has been relatively good. We made a lot of player sales last season. We broke the transfer record for player sales, I believe, last season. So there was good trends there. And there was good evidence to show, like, okay, there's some good things coming out of this. I'm not a big fan of how everything's being run. I'm not a big fan of this whole strict idea of, like, it has to be under 23 or bust. Like, not a big fan of this idea of just not getting experienced players, you know? Like, I don't like all these things. But despite that, you're winning me trophies. You're getting me results. Cool. And again, I was never really BlueCo in either. I was always BlueCo, let's see what happens. You know, this is the plan. Show me what you got. And they showed me what they got. And it made me believe that, okay, maybe they do know what they're doing. Maybe there's something good here, right? Again, I still disagreed with what was going on, but I didn't think it was nearly as bad as people made it seem. But now that there's 3 managers now that have walked away from you because you seem to be difficult to work with. Yeah, I can't support that. I need a gaffer or a coach or a manager, whatever the fuck you want to call him. I need someone that can stay at the job. Again, I'm looking for sustainability. I'm looking to win trophies season in, season out. I'm looking to get closer and closer to a title race and eventually win the Prem. You can't do that if we're constantly sacking the manager. You just can't. It's not been done in football anymore. It really hasn't. I mean, sure, Liverpool, cool. Liverpool also had Mo Salah, and Mo Salah carried that team on his back last season. Look at them now. I want sustainability. I want what Man City have. And if you could give me like a good manager like Man City and you could build a good team like Man City, we could probably get there. Like previous Man Cities, not this Man City team. So again, that's where I go into like, there's some things that they've done that's been smart. Building a bigger squad so that you have a B team and an A team, essentially, right? With the conferencing and all that shit. Even building a bigger squad so you could sustain the amount of games that are going to happen in a season. I think that's intelligent stuff. The loopholes, all that stuff that they found. Great for you guys to find that. But there's shit that you've done that's just not been good. And to the point where what matters the most to me is the football. What matters the most to me is the results and the state of the club and just us winning trophies and us winning the league. You've underperformed this season. And if actually you've taken a step backwards. And now I see all the PR that's coming out. That's now more blatantly clear than it ever was before. Now that I see you're doing the same exact bullshit you did last January in terms of linking us with all these players. And at the end of the day, not even pulling the trigger. I'm tired of it, dude. I'm tired of it. It's the same bullshit over and over again. I gave you 3 seasons. You gave me results. So instead of changing the plan and making us even closer to challenging and becoming the best team in the world and actually living up to our name of the best club in the world, you took a step backwards. You continued the status quo. You continue to give us dreadful players. Players that we all saw were dreadful in the summer. Yet you saw a cheap bargain opportunity and you want to try to cash in on it for the sake of the club's results. Yet you want to sit here and say you're just happy with top 4 because it brings in the most bank. As long as we can still sell players. That's Arsenal shit, bro. That's dead ass Arsenal shit. I'm not about that. So that's when you lost me. That's when you lost me. And that's when I became BlueCo out. And as things currently stand, I am BlueCo out. I don't think it'll turn around, to be honest. Unless by some miracle next season, they actually get good players. They actually get a sponsor. They actually put forth a plan to expand the stadium because the idea of moving to a bigger stadium is now out the window. But now you decide to expand the stadium unless you correct all these fucking wrongs. And also, I should add this as well. Unless you decide to actually start coming out and talking to the fans, then what the fuck do I give a fuck about? And let's be honest. The fans that are most against all this, most upset about this, is the online fans. Because I was just at Chelsea. I was just in London. Fulham Broadway and all that shit. SW6. I was just there. Those fans genuinely don't give a fuck about anything that's going on in the background. They don't. All they care about is winning and trophies. That's all they care about. So when you get rid of the one manager that was actually one of the managers you picked that actually got you trophies and in winning ways, yeah, they're going to be upset. Yeah, they're going to be fed up with the bullshit. That's why you get the chance about, we don't care about Blue Lake, they don't care about, or Clear Lake, they don't care about us, or we care about CFC. Yeah, all they care about is Chelsea. All they care about is winning and trophies. None of those fans were at the protest for a reason, because the online fans are the ones that are the loudest. They're all talk. And I've always said it on this channel, guys. Talk is fucking cheap. Anyone can sit here and say whatever the fuck they want to say and get away with it. That's why I had a receipt stream, to call out a lot of these fake posers that want to claim to be Chelsea fans and say all this talk. And I exposed them to show you guys how many fucking fans just talk and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just have their agendas and they drive it through. It gets engagement. It gets the money, yada, yada. Here, I am who I am. You can ask anyone who met me in London or anyone who's met me in real life. The person you see here is the person you get in real life. I pride myself on that. Yeah, it's just who I am. And my opinions are my opinions. And like I said, I will change my opinions. I will say staunchly what I say. Sometimes, chat, you do influence me. I'm not going to lie. And we did talk about this over the weekend. Sometimes, chat, you do influence me. You make me want to dig my heels in. But at the end of the day, I love you regardless, right? But at the end of the day, the Chelsea fans, the match-going fans, the ones that pay their hard-earned money, the ones that go to the mega store, pay for the merch and all this shit, they don't care about what's happening in the background. They genuinely don't. All they care about is the results. If you get results, do whatever the fuck you want. Do whatever the fuck you want. Don't bankrupt the club and then hurt the results. But they don't care. The ones who do care, they're the loud ones online. That's why when you saw the protests, bro, that protest was pathetic. I'll say it right now. All you fucking Chelsea fans that said, oh, protests, and to be fair, the people on my panel, the people that were actually there, they went to the protests. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm fucking real here, okay? The person I am is who I am. And I tend to attract people that are like-minded like that. All right? We don't just fucking talk to talk. They walk the walk too. Peter was at the protest. Ahmed was at the protest. Scott was at the protest. I think even Lewis was at the protest. Fatur was at the protest. Real Chelsea fans were at the protest. Not the talking heads, the PYS, CFC Blue, Darko, Johnny Minerals. Even the influencers, Matisse, Eunice, who else? Nini. I don't know who else was advocating for the protest, but those guys weren't there. People on my panel, they were there. Why? Because this is how we actually feel about Chelsea. We're not just, egg emojis on Twitter saying all this shit. And I'm more convinced now that a lot of those online fans are actually bots just to get engagement and get the platform going, because that's what it thrives on, engagement. But yeah, there was less people in that protest than there were last year. Just to go to show. Just goes to show how many of you guys just talk, and you're spineless. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. You stand for nothing. And also kudos to people in the UK. They just don't have protesting in them. At least the Strasbourg fans, they showed up in droves, bro. You saw the Strasbourg fucking protests? Those motherfuckers actually care about their football club. They mean what they say. Protesting's in their blood. I don't think protesting is in UK blood. I'll be so real. All right, let's catch up with chat. There's 46 of you guys type in the chat, so I got a lot to catch up on. So bear with me, people. Okay. Hey, what's up? I hope so. Proper Chelsea, I don't care. It's your first time. I bought mine. It's tariff-free. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, people. I wanted to buy this merch even before the season started. But tariffs fucked me up. That's a good point. Tell all the haters to hold it. Yeah. Marshall, you know me. I buy every kit. I got gifted a long sleeve home kit. No more support from me, bro. Yeah, no, it's the same. After the season, unless you actually prove me wrong, unless things actually change, I'm not putting my money more into Chelsea anymore. I mean that. As much as I like the kits sometimes and they're great, I mean it. I'm not buying any more Chelsea memorabilia unless things actually change at this team, at this club, which will be a miracle. Win, lose, draw, BlueCo out. I mean, if you win, I might be BlueCo in. I'll be so real. You keep winning trophies, I might shut the fuck up and I'm proven wrong, So it is what it is. Endgame capitalism, baby. Yeah. Casually waking up and smelling the Lavazza. Maybe. I mean, I ever since Maresca walked away, that's how I felt. Big up, Jose. It's still fuck minerals. Yeah, it's still fuck minerals. Jose, it's F the guy till the day I die. Minerals does talk sense. Let's be real. Not really. Not really. We talked about this, and when you see his platform, how it's been dying, it's. I'm not gonna talk about it here. This is the mineral stream. if you're old enough to open your eyes to see why Minerals doesn't get the credit you think he deserves, one day I hope you'll be old enough to understand why, or at least you'll educate yourself or put yourself in a position to understand more as to why he's just not the guy you think he is. So it is what it is. Benfica, Napoli, Barcelona, and Bayern on their home turf. Oh, true. That's the potential draw. Big up EE. The 2021 final was epic. It was insane. No, I'm not gonna lie. Like Bali out, sporting directors, Bowley needs to take over or someone else. To be fair, that's the other thing, guys. When you look at the Chelsea fans and what we wanted Bowley from the get-go. That's why I hesitate when I say BlueCo out and I say Clear Lake out, because I do want Clear Lake out. I do still want to see what Bowley could do, because one, he still runs Dodgers and Lakers, and they're for the most part winning institutions. What I don't want Bowley to do is to freely just sign whoever. Have sporting directors in place and have them decide who we should sign and not, without the restrictions of it has to be under 23 years old, it has to be this type of profile, it has to be this type of shit, which Iqbali seems to be doing. So if you give sporting directors, and preferably not Winstanley and Stewart, if you give sporting directors the liberty to sign and build a team, kind of like how Luis Campos, right? He's the one for PSG, has done for Luis Enrique. With the money and the signing of Bowley, maybe we can actually cook something there, but we won't know until Bowley actually takes control of the club. So I'm not necessarily BlueCo out because that entails Bowley. I'm BlueCo out because it means get rid of Clear Lake, because I'm fed up with Clear Lake. Ideally, Saudi Media Group plus Bowley. Maybe. Exactly, CFC Daniels. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Exactly. I agree. If we get Donnarumma, Bastoni, Osimhen in the complement this team, we will be in a much better position. I disagree with Donnarumma. And Bastoni, I do agree with. Osimhen, I don't know. I'm still up in the air on Osimhen. I'll be so real with y'all. The model is not working, so sell up, pack up, end of. Exactly. Don't be fooled, people. Maresca was shit coach. He damaged most of these players. Don't be fooled. Up to Chelsea. Sure, bro. Whatever you say. Potter boys gave everything. Are you changed the project? Yeah. No, I am. I'm okay. I'm not changing the project because I still think the project could work. I'm just more of the mindset of stop giving me bargain bin fucking youth players. Actually properly get players that we know actually have a ceiling. We know can actually become something. Like everyone's talking up a storm about Kenda. I hope that actually is the Esteval guy, right? Everyone's talking up a storm about Esteval, and we got Esteval. Even Endrick. Like, I ain't gonna talk shit about Endrick. It's not worked out at Real Madrid, but Endrick is killing it, as far as I can tell, right now at Lille. Was it Lille or Marseille? No. Lyon. Bro, I don't even fucking know. Lyon. No, he's at Lyon, yeah. Give me Endrick. Give me the best young talents. Don't give me bargain bin talents, bro. And then maybe I could believe in the model. And sprinkle some experience. We only need, realistically, guys, at this point at Chelsea, I believe we only need 1 or 2 experienced players. That's it. We have the experienced players. They've become experienced as a result. I would have much preferred it sooner, but at this point, if I was sporting director, I get 1 or 2 experienced players. Even 1, I think, would be more than enough. And it has to be good experience, quality experience. Don't give me bullshit experience. Don't. But that's where I'm getting at, people. Yeah, I got the stinker and hooked. Yes, I walked away from my previous job for 3 years for being there. Then to be told I'm slow, new management in, and too much. Yep. Yeah, that's horrible. I hate that shit. As long as you get the fucking job done. Don't tell me how to get it done. That's how it is everywhere. You displease your boss, you get fired. American waffles. Sure. That's also the recipe to not survive in this world, to be honest. Because if you're just going to be complaining and whining to your boss all the time, yeah, you're going to get fired. It literally happened at my job. I had an employee literally earlier this month, or even earlier this month, she lost her job. And in previous months, she was the biggest, loudest complainer of all of us. I get on with it. I always do. That's how I am. But the one who stirred up the pot the most was the one that ended up getting fucking fired. And guess what? Motherfuckers out here trying to survive. I ain't trying to lose my job every fucking time I open my mouth. I'm not entitled to have an opinion all the time. I know social media makes people think that, oh, I have an opinion. My opinion matters. Wrong. Your opinion sometimes, almost all the time, doesn't really fucking matter. Sure, you might have nuanced things and takes to have, and sure, discussions are great and all that, but at the end of the day, you're this big in a world this fucking big. In the grand scheme of things, your opinion don't mean shit. And in the grand scheme of things, you aren't the center of the universe either. Unless you're the president of the United States or the president of Afghanistan or whatever. Bro, who gives a fuck about your opinion? And that same thing goes for me. That's why sometimes I wake up and I'm like, why the fuck y'all listen to me? Why the fuck do you guys care about what the fuck I have to think? I'm just a fucking American, Peruvian, Puerto Rican motherfucker here that just likes Chelsea. And I just go on my platform and say whatever I want to say because I have the ability to. But at the end of the day, my opinion don't mean fucking shit at the grand scheme of things. It's just the dead truth. And dead truth. Social media makes you believe that your opinion fucking matters, but in the grand reality of things, you're just a small fish in a big ass fucking body of water, and it's the Atlantic Ocean. So, just my 2 cents. But don't worry, guys, your opinion matters. Glad you have woken up. If you really wanted to do something good, bring back Jose and not tell him who and what to pick. Yeah, I don't know about that, my friend. That's just nostalgia right there. We literally have half of 11 very good. They bought the rest utter poop. Kind of. Go be a Man City fan, eh? Who is forcing you to love Chelsea? What does KMT mean again? I don't even know. No, I don't want to be a fucking City fan. No one's forcing me to love Chelsea. I'm choosing to love Chelsea. That's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still talking about it. I'm allowed to express my opinions. Doesn't mean you have to care about it. Doesn't mean anyone has to care about it. Doesn't mean I'm entitled to be listened to. I just want to express them. Why? Because it makes me feel better. Why? Because I find people that maybe feel the same as I do, and I can discuss with them. I like having conversation. I like having discussion. That's why I'm here. But if it was so easy as to switch team, then cool. But it's not that easy. I have a lot of emotional investment in Chelsea. So, yeah. I'm not going to go be a City fan. I just would like to have what City have without being City. Reese, Treb, free. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, yeah, Cucurella too. That's a good one. Yeah. Then 5 who cost them money are only decent players who have alongside Reese and Trev who are free. Yes, thank you. That's not a protest, was a laugh. Yeah, no, that protest was an absolute joke. Which is why, like, I no longer have any more respect or hold any more weight to online fans' opinions. I'll be so real. That protest was the nail in the coffin for me. I was like, oh, yeah, these motherfuckers are all fucking shit. And you know what? The match-going fans pass by them and call them absolute nerds and fucking losers. Deservedly so. A lot of you fuckers online are so habitually online, you don't know what the touch of a woman feels, or a man. Let's be real. We're not be one-sided. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what it's like to pay for a meal. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what it's like to work for your money. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what it's like to dig a hole outside. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what manual labor is. You get a hangnail and you complain and cry to mommy. You probably still live in your mother's basement. When you rent free, by the way, I should add that part, rent free, right? Like, some of y'all motherfuckers just don't have problems. And that's real. Some of y'all motherfuckers just don't have problems. So Chelsea becomes the center of your world and you're like, I'm gonna go protest against Iqbali and BlueCo. And then you show up with the other 50 fucking squares that just want to bitch and moan for the sake of having some purpose in life. Y'all motherfuckers some losers. I'll be so real. Y'all motherfuckers some losers. Y'all motherfuckers some losers. And you know what? You know what? You know what? Let me take it back. Let me take it back. Let me take it back. I should emphasize this, right? The real people I'm talking about, honestly, are the ones that are advocating for protests and then didn't actually show up to the and didn't actually show up to the protests. Y'all the real losers. The ones that did show up to the protests, fair play. You showed up to the protests. Good for you. The fact that there was only 50 of you, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I would have been there. I would have been fine to be called a loser or whatever. But at least I had the chest to show up because I actually stand on some bullshit. A lot of you fucking online people, the thousands and thousands of people that retweeted, the thousands and thousands that liked the tweet, that liked the post, that said spread awareness and all this shit. Those you guys that didn't show up and always complain about Chelsea, y'all are the real fucking losers. Everything I just said, disrespecting the protesters, my bad. It wasn't targeted at the protesters. It was targeted at the motherfuckers that said they want to protest and then don't show up to the protests. There you go. I corrected myself. Apologies. Apologies. Why are we constantly linked to players that will never get in the first place? Why? Relentless PR is crazy. At this point, they're taking a piss. Yeah, that's why this whole Jeremy Jacket bullshit. That's why this whole Douglas Luiz bullshit. Bro, fuck off, man. I didn't believe half of this shit. I literally sat on Ahmed's stream, laying on my bed, like, all right, I don't care. I don't care. Half of this shit's not real. We've seen this play before. The only reason I cover it is because I have a news channel that I have to cover it and talk about it. But my overall opinion on this whole transfer window, it's fucking fake. They already told you in the summer they weren't going to spend money. They weren't going to spend money. They told you. So why are you biting? I'm not biting. Why are you biting? They already told you what they were going to do. So why fall for it? It's a disease. It's a disease. The French do know how to throw a protest. Yeah, they do. Americans do too. How you see Marshall in here is how he is in real life. True. Yeah, it's true. Bully once one sporting director. I agree. He has experienced players with younger players in Dodgers. It's how they are back to back-to-back champs, and probably going to win next season because they signed the best closer in the game. Yeah, 100%. I have faith in this manager. I think with time, we will be a really good side. We just got to replace these sporting directors. Hey, Melon CFC, bless your heart. I need proof to have faith. I'm willing to give Rosenior time. And I'll talk more about my stance on Rosenior in the next part of this discussion, right? Big up, didn't know you were live. Coco, it's because you didn't hit that bell notification. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, you're fine. You're fine. Although I did say it at the end of the show yesterday. It's all good. It's all good. Sometimes we miss details. I don't believe in the youth project. We can always stop and just get better play. It's kind of true, though. We could just stop. Which is kind of why I wanted this. I'm kind of okay with this window because we didn't actually get anyone except Recall and Somino, who might still get loaned out. And we got rid of Buenanote. I want to get rid of more players. Don't get me wrong. But that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of okay with the fact that we didn't get anyone this window. It's because if they got someone that was shit, I would have been more pissed off. So I'm okay. I'm okay. How's Ensamino going to get game time when Josh can't even get minutes? Recalling him just to bench him is crazy work. Bro, I don't fucking know, Burger. I don't know, man. This team is, I just don't know. We listen because you are, we listen because you are fucking Chelsea, mate. I ain't gonna lie. I've been a little bit converted to proper Chelsea. I'm not gonna lie. After going to 2 games now and all that bullshit, I've actually been converted. Like, I was calling this my Chelsea, bro. Like, I was talking like them. It's crazy. Big up, Lula. Thank you. The protest is based on online negativity. Yeah, it really is. But I have 200K subscribers. How come only 50 people showed up? Because y'all motherfuckers fake. A lot of you online motherfuckers are just fake demons. For real. For real. Oh, you know what? You know what? Just for those fake demons, those fake online motherfuckers, thank you, Maresca.
Because too young, because not experience, and unfortunately for them, they have been all wrong. All the ones, you know, that they have the truth and they have the answer for everything. So in English, I would say F off, to all of them.
Fuck off, eh? F off, eh? Yeah, F off, eh? Fake demons, all of you. So fuck the online negativity merchants. Natalie, big up. Marshall, I would like to have Saudi ownership. I would too. I would too, technically. Will we get Saudi ownership? Probably not. Again, I'll discuss that as well. Has anyone ever told you you look like... Maybe I should take off this, maybe I should just, you know what? Maybe I should just end stream. I can't lie, man. Maybe I revealed a little too much. I'm not gonna lie. Tem CSC, I don't know what you're talking about. Should be BlueCo out and merge it with Strasbourg same time, same dates, and do some together. Not sure what you mean, Daniels. All right, I caught up with the chat. Big up to you guys. All right, I'm gonna give it another half hour, so I got another few talking points here to discuss. Okay. As for Liam, we'll start off with him because now we're in the present, right? Liam, listen, Liam. I did watch a few games of Liam under Strasbourg, and there's no denying there is a good coach there. My doubt, and we saw this with Graham Potter, when you're given a job before you're fucking ready to take that step, Graham Potter completely crumbled. Completely crumbled. I from a psychological point of view, I do feel bad for Graham Potter because I think Chelsea absolutely destroyed him. The Graham Potter we saw under Brighton versus the Graham Potter we're seeing now is night and day. And I do think his move to Chelsea absolutely ruined him. Absolutely ruined him. I do feel a little sorry because, listen, the football was shit. Like, let's get it right from the get-go. The football was shit. And the results are even shitter. But what I got to give him a little bit of sympathy on is that, excuse me, how many players did he have in his team? Like 40 players in this team? That's just way too much. No manager can handle that. And we saw with Lampard as well. Holy shit, man. Like, it was bad. It was bad. So it just wasn't a sustainable environment for any manager. But with Liam, I don't have faith in Liam. Not yet, at least. Right? It has to be earned. You have to give me more of these results. And I did say yesterday in the show that if Liam turns it around against Arsenal, I will start to have more faith. I will start to actually believe again, right? Because right now, I'm down in the dumps. I don't think we're walking out of this season with anything. If we're lucky, we will get Champions League again, if we're lucky. But I feel like we're on our way back to Conference League, or even worse, nothing. I do feel that way. Yes, right now we're doing great, where we got the manager bounce and all that shit going on. What's going to happen in the long run? Why? Because Liam, towards the end of Strasbourg, it wasn't looking good. In Liam's defense, though, team drastically changed. But that's the same thing we do here at Chelsea. Let me explain, because I talked to Peter about this, and he had really good points. Peter always has good points, which is why I listen to him a lot. Shout out, Peter. I do believe that you could have probably kept a handful of players from last season's Club World Cup winning team and been okay this season. I'm talking about Nkunku. I'm talking about KDH. To an extent, you could even make the argument that... Who else was in there? Oh, Jackson as well. Those are three players you probably could have kept in this team. It would have gave you sustainability. It would have gave you consistency because you had players that were starting to turn it around, that were familiar with your system, that you could rely on and give you more depth. And you didn't need to sign Gittins, and you didn't need to sign Garnacho. I understand those players didn't have the greatest of seasons last season, but the form they were going into in the summer showed that, okay, Maresca's finally getting something out of these guys, and we could do something with them. You get rid of those players. Unfortunately, you don't have Lavia available. You don't have a Sugo available, so your resources are limited. But again, like it's for a manager to have a squad that he wants to build off of, slightly stripped and replaced with other players, you're probably not going to get the same results. You change the ingredients at that point. So to an extent, it also worries me that even if Liam does get a good run this season and turns things around, what's Liam next season going to look like? Is he going to look like Strasbourg, where Strasbourg were starting to, free fall down the table? They finished first in Conference League. And also, Gary O'Neill, big up to him. He's actually getting results there. I laughed at that assignment. I might have to bite my words on that one. But what concerns me is the inexperience, right? What concerns me is what broke Graham Potter. And because he's inexperienced, because the media, when things get bad, might really get on his case, I want to see how he handles that. Because Maresca struggled. Don't get me wrong. Maresca struggled to handle the pressure. And when he didn't get his signing, when he wasn't backed, he also showed it. How is Liam going to react when the same thing happens? That's the part that concerns me. I'm not so concerned that Liam is going to get sacked. I'm more concerned that Liam is going to walk away. Because if there's one trend that I am noticing with these owners, if there's one trend I'm noticing that has been a problem of ours that I don't feel enough people are talking about and oversimplifying the state of affairs at Chelsea by blaming it on the manager, is the owners in which the managers have to adhere to. That's the biggest problem. And that's the problem that a lot of people like to ignore and oversimplify and just put it on Maresca. Again, we got briefs from The Athletic, from Maresca's camp, claiming the same things or very similar things that the Pochettino camp was claiming. The lack of ability to ask for certain players, the demand to just sit there and coach and improve players. And with Maresca, there's even more with the whole medical team and how they want you to manage players and all this shit. I just heard in the last press conference, Liam say that Cole Palmer is now 100% fit. Huh? I don't believe that. I really don't. I don't think he's fully fit. We'll see, but I don't think so. But now we're hearing that the director is having meetings every single time at halftime. Sorry, guys. Like I said, sinus infection. Maresca having meetings at the end of each game with the board. That was happening under Graham Potter too, where the owners were walking into the locker room. So if this is a reoccurring thing, why am I to believe that Maresca was the one setting up those teams towards the end? Why am I to believe that some of the changes that maybe Maresca made, good or bad, were against the ownership, which would cause them to have a ripple, right? Or friction. why am I to believe that all this rotation, all these players that we're seeing Reese at center back, is that Liam's decision or is that the ownership? So that's why I'm like, I don't know what to believe. You've already put a wedge into trust for Chelsea fans. Genuinely, I don't know who puts out the team anymore. I don't believe if it's Rosenior. Just like I don't believe if it was Maresca. Maybe the ownership won the Club World Cup for all I know. I don't know. But it seems to me too that they'll give you grace in that first season to get some players and signings. And then in the following season, they want to build off of the winning team that you had. Hey, thanks, mate. We'll take it from here. Yeah, just do this, do that. We want all the credit. No. Fucking clowns. And now we're seeing it. Maresca asked for a center back. He told you ahead of time what the team needed. You didn't listen. You see what happens with the season. You see with Tosin, how shit he's been. You see with Chalobah, how on and off he's been. He's been one of our better center backs this season. But let's be honest, he's also been inconsistent, especially in the beginning of the season. You see how you want to build off of Fofana, whose minutes need to be managed anyways. Right? Knock on wood. He's been good so far. You see Josh isn't ready. Josh still makes mistakes from time to time. Josh recently didn't even have a good game. Right? Badiashile still making mistakes. Still having bozo moments. Got bailed out by Robert Sanchez in the last Crystal Palace game. Right? Sanchez, to be fair, we were saying to get another goalkeeper, got to hold the L on that. So far, Sanchez has been absolute class. I'm not going to say world class. Nini, if you're listening, you're taking it too far. I'm not going to say world class. He's been great this season and arguably player of the season. Arguably. He's been fantastic. And I hope he keeps it up because I did say, even when we signed him under Graham Potter, there was a season under Graham Potter at Brighton where he was arguably the best goalkeeper in the league in terms of shot stopping, form. Like I think it was the season that Arsenal actually finished 5th. I think that season was a fantastic season for Sanchez at Brighton. But that's Brighton. You take the step up to Chelsea, totally different minerals.
Fucking minerals, bruv.
That being said, so I like that Liam has a similar style of play as Maresca. It means that the team can adapt relatively quickly. But what we're seeing now that it's starting to show the weaknesses of some of the players. And Enzo's being one of them. He's at least using the youngsters more, which is what we were advocating Maresca to do. And we criticized Maresca for not doing it. But yeah, Enzo's been suffering in this. I think Garnacho's not been playing well. I mean, he wasn't playing well all season, to be fair. I think Badiashile just looks the same old Badiashile. Like, there's players there that you could name that, like, the system is starting to expose how bad they've been. Neto is another one, too. And we're just playing them for the sake that they're being workhorses. But I do think if we continue like this, for one, we still need a center back. Like Levi Cole, when you come back, great. I think Tosin needs to go. I think Badiashile needs to go. I think Fofana, you can make an argument to stay. I'm not going to make that argument today. But building off of Levi Colwell, you want to keep Achimpong in there. He's looked good in some games in the center back role. You just got to get more players. I think, listen, I'm not unfair about Anselmino. He's young. Young players sometimes go through injury spurts. I'm not going to brush off a young player's future because of its present right now. Like, I think that's just ridiculous and overreactionary. So Anselmino, I'll give him a shot. And I'll also give a shot to Mamadou Sarr. He's been doing pretty consistent. So let's see what he does. But there is a pipeline that we're going to get some good players coming in. Ken does another one. Let's see what he does. If we end up selling Garnacho, Gittins, or Neto, I mean, Gittins I'd want to keep because there is an exciting player there. You just need to be patient, people. Like, again, he's coming from a different league. You need to give him that first season to adapt and really acclimate to the players. You can tell he has zero chemistry with these players. How the fuck are you going to get chemistry when you're not playing real games? It's just simple logic. Garnacho doesn't have that excuse. He's been in the Prem. He's Prem proven. He's doing the same shit we've seen him do at United. Like, it's just not rocket science. And Neto, just not been good enough. Just not been good enough. GNA will only get you so far. I can't remember the last time Neto got another goal. I think it was against... He got a goal against Charlton. Mighty Charlton. Great. So... it's great to see Santos getting a run of games. It's great to see... I am worried about Caicedo. I'm not going to say he's stagnating, but he's not necessarily been the same Caicedo we've seen under Maresca. So that does worry me to an extent. But again, it could be adaptation period. It's a new manager. He wants to play his own way of playing the Maresca system of inverting fullbacks, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time. I think right now he's in a position where I have to get the results, so I'm not going to change too much. But over the course of time, I am going to tweak a few things here and there. And it's similar to what we saw in the beginning of, or preseason at least, of Maresca, where so many changes so quick, and we saw how quickly we were exposed. And then Maresca reverted back to the same type of football we were playing under Poch and slowly adapted it. That's when we started losing games. And once the players finally acclimated and knew what the system was and where to be and what to do, that's when we started winning games. So it's going to be a test. The good thing is the system isn't too different from Maresca's, so there won't be, maybe we won't have to have that lull of bad games, but we do need results. Rosenior knows that. Let's see what happens. And like I said, in terms of the future, we're going to have to see what happens. If Chelsea can get a result against Arsenal, we're back in it. We're back in it. I want a Carabao Cup final. I want a Carabao Cup trophy. Realistically, if you could just give me the FA Cup trophy and the Carabao Cup trophy, I think I'll be pretty content with that. UCL, listen, Maresca, I knew he could coach a big game. So far, the first big game Liam has had came way too soon. I'll admit that. He's way too fresh, and he lost it. Maresca didn't start off strong, but eventually, when it did matter, big games got results. So, UCL, I'm going to have to hold that for a bit. Because I wanted a UCL trophy. I really thought we could under Maresca, especially after that Club World Cup, especially after Barcelona, the draw against Arsenal, the best team in the world, all that bullshit. I thought Maresca could cook something. This isn't Maresca anymore. So now I don't know what to think. But if you can give me an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup, I think I'll be okay with that. And top four. But that faith only gets restored if we actually manage to advance to the final of the Carabao Cup against Arsenal. I cannot have Arsenal winning a trophy on our head top. No. That cannot happen. No. I despise Arsenal, so I will not be okay with that happening. I will not sacrifice that. I will not give that up. I do not care. Arsenal, just like Spurs, even United to an extent, I will not accept letting them win a trophy for the sake of improving better game, less games, or whatever the fuck. No, unacceptable for me. Unacceptable. All right. And you guys should probably feel the same way. And if all goes well this season, and that does happen, let's see what happens in the window. Listen, I already said last season, and I already said in the summer, I want these directors out. I do. I still want them out. I'm not a fan of them. I wasn't a fan of them after that January window. I wasn't a fan of them after that summer window with Pochettino when they got into Maresca. I wanted them gone since. That stance has not changed. I still want them gone. Even if they're just taking orders, don't give a fuck. Still want them gone. You guys can't finish negotiations. Big Daddy Igbali has to step in just to help save your skin. Don't care. Get out of my club. Give me just Dave Follows as director. Let's see what he's got. Give me just one director. More than happy with that. But that's not going to happen, right? They just got an extension. Who knows? It might not mean nothing, just like Enzo Maresca's 5-year contract. In terms of this team, in the future, in the summer, I just need you guys to show me that you're willing to work with the coach to build a team, fulfill the coach's needs, right? Because again, Maresca just asked for a center back. That's all he did. And it happened as soon as Levi Cole went off injured. It's not like these directors decided to go for a center back once Levi Cole was injured. They were going for a center back anyways, and then they just stopped. So if you have a plan, fulfill it. Do it. Do it. Actually initiate your plan. Don't be like these online Chelsea fans that they're all talk and no fucking bark and no bite. All bark, no bite. All bark, no bite CFC. If this summer we actually recruit good players, we actually sell off some of this shit and actually back the manager, whether it be with big profiles, small profiles, I don't care. I don't care. Because the one thing you have done, Clear Lake directors, is proven to me that I don't know nearly as much about scouting as you guys do. Because you guys have gotten some good talents through the door. If you can keep actually getting the good talents through the door, a lot of these people online will criticize you for it. At the end of the day, all that matters is the results on the pitch and how they play. If you can see that they can do that and it actually translates, kudos to you. Do that in the summer. Work with the manager. Work with the coach. Build off of this team. Challenge for the league next season. There's no excuse. In fact, we should have been challenging for the league this season and should be winning the league next. But because you didn't do that, now I have to postpone that prediction because you've not shown me progress. Now, who knows? Maybe Liam gets us to second. I doubt it. Maybe Liam gets us back to second. Maybe we actually get back into a title challenge. I don't know. It's not impossible. It wasn't that long ago. Arsenal were what, 12 points ahead? Now they're 4 points. We're only what, 4 game swing from being in a title charge. And to be fair, the teams above us haven't been convincing or consistent at all. The fact that United is in the top 4 just goes to show the state of the league. Aston Villa, 3rd place. Man City, somehow in 2nd, even though they've been dropping points like flies. And then you have Arsenal, who have been winless in the last 3, top of the league. Honestly, it's not that delusional for a Chelsea fan to say, oh, we could be in the title charge. Because realistically, they're not wrong. I don't believe it. I'm not going to say it. But statistically, it's actually not impossible considering how shit the league is and how inconsistent it is. What happens if we just hit consistency like we did last season? All of a sudden, let me just paint you a picture here. What happens if Chelsea win their next 5 games in a row? Do you think the teams above us are going to win 5 games in a row too? Let's just say, for example, the teams above us. Yeah, no. I honestly think about that, guys. If we win 5 games in a row, which I don't think is going to happen, but it could. We have an easy run of fixtures. I mean, we've won 2 in a row already. And then we have West Ham. I think we have Burnley in there, Wolves. Like, we have a good run of games. I think Fulham is in there too again. I don't remember. No, it's not. Not Fulham. If we win 5 games in a row, and all of a sudden the teams above us drop a point, lose a game there, that gap closes up. All of a sudden we're talking about 6-point gap, 9-point gap, 10-point gap. We're not too far. We could close the gap. Technically we could. If I am to believe that, though, we need to get a good run of games. And we need to get results against big teams like Arsenal to really make me believe that we could actually do that. But that all goes with the whole conversation about next season, right? Next season, we need to see what these directors actually do with Liam, if they're actually going to back him. And if they do, kudos. Great. You finally did the thing you should have been doing a long time ago. And then from there, build off of that. Show consistency. Show consistency. Show a working trend. If you can get a trophy under Liam halfway through the season, then why can't we compete for the league? Why can't we compete for UCLs? Excuse me. What is stopping us? What's stopping us is the directors, the recruitment. Again, sorry, sinus infection. I'm all fucked up. So, I don't know, guys. I'm trying to be a little optimistic, as you can tell, right? But at the same time, I'm still of the belief I need to see more to get me out of this rut. I'm happy that we've been back in winning ways, but I'm looking at the fixtures in which we were winning, and I'm thinking, okay, let's calm down a bit. Crystal Palace, great victory. Great performance. Napoli, not a great performance, but a good victory nonetheless. We did what we needed to do. Let's keep it up, and then we'll talk again, and we'll see. After the Arsenal game, we'll see where I stand. We'll see how optimistic I am. We'll see how proper Chelsea I am. But that being said, oh man, we'll see what happens. And yeah, we'll go from there. Chat, have you guys been talking? I don't even know. I've not got any notifications of what you guys have been saying for whatever reason. But I think I remember where I left off here, people. Okay. Has anyone ever told you look like pie? Okay, no. We're not revealing my secrets. Okay. Revisionism. Okay. Yep, people smash up the like if you haven't done so already, please. Would be very grateful for that. And again, very thankful for you guys actually being here and listening to my silly pish-poshism. Jackson was enemy number 1 at the end of the season. Yeah, but that's sort of, people were really emotional. Let's be honest. People were really emotional about Jackson. I was too, to be fair. But I did say, like, Jackson, you could leave, come and go. I don't really give a fuck. Now, in hindsight, people saw how actually good Jackson was and how much he linked up play, which is my argument the whole time about Jackson. And now you see how we're missing that. João Pedro from time to time does pull it off. He's been pulling it off recently, which is great. He's on fire right now. He's a very streaky player. But Jackson, yeah, like there was no revisionism on Jackson for me. I was always of the belief like he could come, he could go, or
Hey, yo!
he could stay or he could go. I don't care, because again, I never thought he was good enough for Chelsea anyways. He was playing well for us, but I never thought he was Chelsea level. He's got such a tough end of the season. I feel bad for him. He kind of has to experiment to get different results, and we struggled earlier this season. Yeah, it's true. Liam will walk away too. We already heard no manager can work under this leadership. We'll see. We'll see what the catalyst is when it happens. Okay, you guys haven't actually said much. That's pretty nice. Palmer, looks like he lost some strengths, getting knocked off the ball, but he might be fit from the injury. Hopefully he's fit from the injury. He's been out for quite a bit of time, so yeah, he may have lost some strength, but he was never really a powerful guy anyways. Breezy, big up, big up. Welcome. Okay, yeah, that's all you guys had to say. I hope you guys didn't get disconnected from... Oh, no. You guys, this is me being hopeful that you guys would say stuff. But no, we're good. All right, and I did actually put up a poll for you guys. And I did ask you guys, do you have hope for this season under Rosenior and BlueCo? And 39 of you voted. And for the most part, you guys are probably more optimistic than I am. That's good to see. No, big up. I primed you guys well. I'm kidding. You guys are independent, free-minded thinkers. So, yeah, no, great to see. Yeah, a good 2/3 of you guys are relatively positive of where the season's going to go. I gave you my 2 cents. Take a look at the last 10 games of the season. It's rough. We have a hard schedule. I did already look at it. I know we're going to face some tough teams. And this is where I was getting at before with the UCL. Because in the beginning of the season, I did predict us to win the UCL because fuck it. Like, who's going to actually be able to predict if we're going to win the UCL or not? But you would be willing to put your hat or your name in the hat after what Maresca had done in the summer, and especially more so reinforced with the result against Barcelona. Yes, Bayern wasn't a good game. I understand that, but you know, we just kind of capitulated on that one. We had an awful ending to last season too. We came through it. We have some belief. Yeah, Waves. You know what it is? Waves, you're not wrong. Things could change. We did have Liverpool towards the end of the season, and we did get a result there, to be fair as well. Newcastle, we kind of capitulated that one because of Jackson. Nottingham Forest were above us. Listen, this is just Chelsea, right? Like, end of the season, we step it up, we become like the best team in the world, and then we just like go on a run. It's so hard to look at fixtures because we do well against big teams, but can blow it versus small teams. That's under Maresca. Under Liam, I just genuinely don't know what to expect. We lost to Newcastle and everyone wrote off top 5. I didn't. I almost did, but I didn't. Ipswich was the game that nearly broke me. Ipswich was the game that nearly broke my fortitude. But yeah, no, we'll be okay, guys. We'll be okay. We'll see what happens at the end of the season. What really is going to give me the whole picture and how I'm going to assess how the rest of the season is going to go is that Arsenal game. Genuinely, that Arsenal game. If we don't win it, it's not that big a deal, right? At the grand scheme of things. But I need to see this team have the thirst to win trophies. If you don't win this game, or yeah, you don't even... No, you just need to win. You need 1 goal, you go to penalties, 2 goals, you qualify to the next round immediately. We just saw Manchester United bop this Arsenal team. We held Arsenal to a draw with 10 men. Guys, this Arsenal team... Guys, their top 3 goal scorers, I believe, in the league are Declan Rice, Trossard, and own goals. Yeah. I'm not having it with this Arsenal team. They might be looking and sitting pretty in first, but don't feed into their egos. They're not the best team in the world. They're far from it. They really are. They really are. But if they can get a result against Arsenal, then I really do believe we could do something. But please, Liam, please, bro, don't be stubborn. Don't try to be all, oh, I'm gonna do it my way. If you just take a page out of the Maresca handbook and put 3 at the halfway line, give Sanchez space to claim crosses, I promise you, set pieces we won't have to worry about. We're good enough where we can hold them at bay, especially if we have 10 men or 11 men on the pitch. We're gonna have Reece and Caicedo back. Liam, please, just don't feed into the set pieces. That's honestly what completely made me lose my mind the last game. Yes, I'm saying. I think we saw yesterday he isn't stubborn, not yet anyways. No, I'm just saying, don't be stubborn, right? Like, don't be, I'm going to do it my way. Like, please, there's no shame in doing what Enzo did so that you can have success. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, exactly. All of us see it. I was listening to James Cundy and Olivia Bazaglo and Liam Rosenior talk about it. And the Chelsea show. I forget the name of it right now. I'm drawing a blank for whatever reason. And they were saying it too. All the fans are saying it. We're all saying it. We know. We noticed that because of blatant strategy against the set pieces. Just use it, bro. It's all good. One glaring comparison I can immediately draw between Liam and Maresca. Liam doesn't overvalue his trust. Maresca would see one bad performance and banish a player for 3 months. Liam gives chances. No, I agree with that. Liam is also more willing to take risks, good or bad as it may be. And sometimes it does come at the cost of conceding goals. We shouldn't have conceded against Crystal Palace. It should have been a clean sheet. And honestly, defensively, we were a little exposed against Napoli. Luckily, we were on the front foot and Liam took the risk and we got goals and we ended up winning. So that's good. That's not always going to work though. So just pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose your battles. It would work to put the 10 outfield players on the goal line and defend the corner. Let Sanchez catch. Bro, just leave Sanchez in there by himself at this point, bro. Like, just leave Sanchez in the 18-yard box. He's got you, boo. He's got you, boo. Let's just be real. He's got you, man. I think he's top of the league in terms of cross-claiming and clearances. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. I could be wrong. But yeah. That's exactly what I mean. All our games under Liam, we haven't looked defense good, but that's due to having not so much good center backs. That's also true. That's also true. I agree. But on the bright side, at least the match-going fans seem to be backing Liam, which is great to see. It wasn't like how Maresca kind of came into the club and was getting kind of booed from the get-go and getting a lot of like criticism and shtick for what the ownership did previously. So maybe. But yeah, I listen, if we get a result against Arsenal, and that's the game I'm looking at, like, honestly, that is the game. Like, there's other games in between, I understand, but that's the big game I'm looking at. And I'm like, please, Chelsea, we have to get this done. We really, really do. If you can get a result against Arsenal, which, by the way, when is that game? Oh, fuck. That game is next Tuesday. Oh, shit. Oh, no. That game is next Tuesday. It's coming up way too soon. Okay, listen. Chelsea boys. It's coming up next week. West Ham, you beat them. You get some momentum. You get some confidence. Rest up some good players. I don't want to see Esteval play that game. If we can't beat West Ham without Esteval, then I don't know what the fuck we can't do without Esteval at this point. Just call us Esteval FC, all right? But I don't want to see Palmer play that game. I don't want to see Esteval play that game. Fuck! I might not even want to see Reece play that game. Please, let's be ready for Tuesday. And put out a team that can get you the result to beat West Ham. Please, Liam. Next Tuesday is your biggest game of the season. This is your biggest test so far, Liam. If you can get this result, you'll have BlueCo's biggest soldier back on your side. You will have my utmost support for the rest of the season, my friend. I promise you that. Liam, if you can get a result against Arsenal on Tuesday, we'll back the lads.
I know, I took it personal.
We'll back the lads. All right, guys. I got to head to band practice. We got to call it a day. Oh! I should say this while I have you guys' attention. Okay. Hold on. How am I going to do this? Okay, hold on. I got to figure this out now. Fuck. I didn't think about this. All right. If you guys didn't know, then you're going to find out now. I am in a band. Yes, I'm in a band. I make music. You can find the link to my music down in the description. And if you want to support it, then I am very happy to hear that. If this is not your kind of music, then, you know, so be it. I don't expect my music to be for everyone. I understand that. There we go. We'll do that. So, is it this one? What is the... Oh, here it is. No. Am I... Am I dumb? I might be dumb, guys. I might actually be dumb. Bear with me. Bear with me here. What I'm looking for is to give you guys a pre-save link for my band's new song that's coming out in 2 weeks, a week and a half, something like that. So if you want to join, if you want to support, if you have an email, or if you use Spotify, you can easily just tap the link and pre-save the song. And what it essentially does is just when the song comes out, you automatically like it without having to look for it, and it'll show up on your feed, and you'll see it when it comes out. It'll basically put it in front of you so that you can actually enjoy it. Why? What the heck? Hold on, I'm forgetting the link I used for this. What the hell is going on? Let me see something here. Oh, I'm being silly. I figured it out. Okay, here it is. I got it. All right. Oh wow. Okay, we stepped up a bit. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna copy the link address. Sorry, chat. I'm not paying attention to you. I am the singer, guys. So here you go. If you're interested in supporting the band and supporting Back Pocket Alimony, that's the name of my band, show.co. It's the pre-save link. You can click it. It'll take you to a page where you can request access or link it to your Spotify, or use your email if you don't have Spotify. And then once you hit it, it'll give you a request to give permission to Spotify to do all this to Spotify, which is it's just giving it permission to automatically like the song and automatically put it on like a new release radar for you, doing all that fucking stuff. Hey, big up Joey, man. Thank you. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know why I didn't get the notification that Joey raided, but big up Joey. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the raid. If you're just tuning in, this is a whole fiasco on my whole, BlueCo stance at the moment. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, link in the chat is for pre-save link for the band's new song. It's called Snowfall. My band is Back Pocket Alimony. I'm the lead singer. We're coming out with a new song next Friday, actually, now that I looked at the calendar. So basically, hit the link. It's right here. Hit the link. It'll show you a Spotify option or an email option if you don't have Spotify to pre-save my band's song. I actually wrote that little personal message that you see there myself. From there, if you do hit Spotify, it'll ask you for permission to let show.co like the song and do all that shit for you. It's no virus, I promise you. I've done it a million times. And that's all you need to do. Hit it, and then you're good to go. And then when the song comes out, January or February 6th, next Friday, you'll see it in your release radar. You'll all have automatically liked it, and it'll automatically be added to your algorithm, and you'll be supporting the band. It's that simple. That's it. Right? You won't get access to the song immediately. That's not what a pre-save is for. So yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind doing that for me, even if you're not a big advocate of pop punk or any of that stuff, because that's the kind of music it is, even showing support that way would be fantastic for me. Again, being in a band and being a musician is another dream I aspire for. So I really would appreciate if you guys would help out. I also do play the rhythm guitar for the band as well. So, so yeah, I do appreciate the support, guys. If you could just click that link and show some love for Back Pocket Alimony, the band. But yeah, that being said, I think American Waffle might be on right now. Let me just double check so I can raid out to it. And this is Chelsea 2 hours, pretty much. So yeah, I had a lot to talk about. But well, yeah, we're going to raid out to American Waffle. I got to head to band practice. Let me set up this raid and then leave you guys to it. Which song is my favorite? Bro, that's like asking me what child's my favorite. I can't really say, but I think Pickle Juice is my favorite song. But actually, no, that's a lie. My favorite song is actually a song we haven't released yet. So you got to be on the lookout for that. My favorite song is a song called, if you remember this, Lola. My favorite song is a song called Do You Have a Lighter? And that's not going to come out for a long time. So that's down in the pipeline. The BlueCo pipeline. We like pipelines here at Chelsea. So yeah, guys, big up to you. Thank you so much. If you do pre-save the song that I'm showing you right here. There we go. Oh, right here. There we go. If you do pre-save the song, I do really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you want to see the other content I make, there's a solo.2 link down below, which is essentially a link tree. You can see all the content, all the band stuff, the Instagram, my personal YouTube, all that fun stuff. You can see all that stuff there. We're gonna raid out to Stoffy TV. American Waffle's currently on, and I'm sure they're gonna be talking about UCL and all that fun stuff. So if you want more content there, more diversity, go over there. Smash up the like, show some support. Be sure to also show some support here. Smash up the like as well. Subscribe if you're new here. If you're watching this in the future, hype up the video. Hyping up helps the channels, guys, and it's free. I don't think enough of you guys do it. So hey, it's a feature that you get just by being around and helping out the channels that you support. You have hype points, use them up. They're there for a reason, and it helps out channels tremendously. It's a big help, actually. So yeah, hype up the video if you have hype points. It does put me in a special playlist where we can, really stand out a lot more and grow the community, because I'm trying to get to 5K subscribers, guys. I do have a really big surprise for you guys at 5K. And another thing I'll say, in the comments section, and I'll put a poll up for this in the next stream, which will probably be tomorrow, Casually Chelsea show. If you guys want the vlog of just my overall trip in London, let me know. I will put it together. And if you guys do want it enough, if you show me in the comments, if you show me even in the chat, in next chat or in the poll when I put it up, remind me, please, someone, if I forget to pull up the poll for the vlog, I'll pull it up. But if you guys want it, I will definitely make that video, and I'll edit it up for you and make it all nice. And you guys can really kind of experience most of what I did while in London. So it was a fun time for sure. But yeah, memberships as well. Big up to you guys. If you're a proper casual and higher tier member, give you a shout out at the end of every show. And that's going to be Laundry, Sadiq, A, Soliman, EE, and Adrian. Big up to you guys. Check out the Discord as well. Community's in there. We all talk, we all chat. So guys, much love. Thank you for being here with me. Chelsea Hour 52 instead of Chelsea Hour. It's okay. But I had a lot to get off my chest and a lot to talk about. And I promise you, Xtal and all you guys that are tired of me talking about Maresca and all this shit, this is the last time. This is the one that I'm going to tell people to listen to and watch, so that I don't have to repeat myself every stream, and we can move on to the topics that you guys actually want to listen to, and not just myself repeating myself. That's why I wanted to do it as well. So this is it. This is the chapter. We close the Maresca chapter here. No more Maresca fucking streams and all that shit. No more arguments with chat about Maresca. From now on, just listen to this, and that's all you need, okay? And big up to every single one of you. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys viewing us and sticking around and just being company with me and all that stuff. All that whole last sentence made no sense. Anyways, up to fucking Chelsea. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think I'm going to do a Casually Chelsea show, and then we'll get it from there, guys. But love y'all. Have a wonderful night. Stay casual. Peace.